What's up, guys? This is Frenzy. Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Midterm BR, Castle level 18, I believe. So we'll jump into it on my knight. And let's just see. Alright, so this is good. Although, I mean, the vision thing isn't really all that great, but I do like the placement of this jelly wall and the placement of your creatures. I can't quite get to a Lashing Flames without going inside of the wall. That being said, I could see the Cyclops because of the vision, so I was able to dodge out of the way of it pretty easily. I mean, this would be a lot more effective if it was going down towards the bottom of your screen rather than the top. Alright, this is a fake. This looks like it's pulling through the bottom part of this area, so I'm going to back up here. Probably back up around this. What kind of traps were these? Fire mines. I would prefer you to have some other type of space control trap. Let me take a look at the placement of your other one. Oh, that's annoying. Alright. But yeah, I'm going to take a look at the placement of this ballista trap over here. I'm wondering if you could possibly make it so that you have another ballista trap that's covering the backside of these two pillars. So if you had like a ballista trap here, if that doesn't affect your ballista trap placement down here, I would do that, you know? But if it affects it too much, I guess it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just, that's like probably the most common place to run back to if you're not going to pull multiple groups. Alright, so the Jimbo's good. You noticed here the Scorpio ran away from the Defendatron. You might want to try to change it so that like the Defendatron's kind of blocking the path a little bit. There's a few things that you can do to try to make the Defendatron speed up and the Scorpio slow down a little bit. That way, there's no chance of the player being able to kill the Scorpio without killing the Defendatron. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of go and wait for this guy. It's like the easiest way to save time is just keep going through the castle and wait for this guy to his shield to go down as you're kind of running through, or else it'll take way too long. But it's a good time waster. We're talking about defense. Problem is I don't want to go into this area without killing him, because it's probably going to be some sort of a pull. That might hurt. Okay, I got lucky. So I kind of expected that to happen. The good part is that you notice that I always talk about non-reliable escapes when you're going for pulls and going for chokes like this. And you noticed it there where I got hit by this and kind of just had to get pulled regardless, like 100% pull for you. The problem is, you know, your Scorpio doesn't quite have the range to be able to hook me all the way back. And, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. The only thing is trying to move this up a few, but I don't know, that would probably affect your mouse wheel placement, so there's probably not much you can do about it. It's still good, nonetheless. Alright, I do like this as well. This is a good way of using springboard traps, using it only as one combination. I like that. That's a good one. Somebody else used this to me, used this against me a little while ago. I don't remember exactly who it was. And I died. Yeah, what was I saying? Somebody else used this and I liked it a lot, and I mentioned that I liked it in one of the previous viewer castles, where they kind of hooked it so that the Scorpio was hooked like down around here and then back behind another mob group. And it works really well to get double pulls. I might even die again. This is a really good combination, I like it a lot. especially against a knight, because every time I try to go after the main DPS, which is the Zeke, the Scorpio is just pulling me away and interrupting my combos, so that's good. And then you have the boss room. Alright. And then you got the Enrager Puppeteer, who's actually hitting the Zeke, which is good. That Zeke fires so fast. Like, my god, I wish I need to try to set something up like that. That is like a machine gun. For me, that would be like 3,000 damage if I could combine that with something else. It'd be really good. Alright, and then you have my old boss room, which is fine. So yeah, it's a pretty good castle. I didn't really have all that much bad to say about it. Just like a couple of places your vision was a little messed up, like you were going towards the top of the screen at the beginning of the castle and stuff like that. If you can change those things up a little bit, I think you'll be doing quite a bit better. But even then, it wasn't like the biggest deal in the world. It's only like one of your groups that was affected, and then you started to make it go down towards the bottom again, so not too bad at all. Alright, so we will jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, and for number 2 we have DoctorSnuggles, castle level 15. Jump into it on my knight. Alright, so this is a decent group. Probably not like the best time waster, but it has a little bit more damage than a Robo Shieldatron Defendatron combo. So I like it. It's fine. That's interesting. I would like this probably better if there was only one Smelly Warrior. Because the Smelly Warriors aren't really going to be your damage here. I mean, not even that they're not going to be your damage, but the main thing is that your slow is going to help your archers more so than the Smelly Warriors. Like, a knight can run in here and take on the Smelly Warriors pretty easily. An archer could come in here and volley the 2 Smelly Warriors and kill them pretty easily. It's the archers, I think, that you really are looking for. Now, I see the merit in what you're doing, though, where you kind of want the person to stop and attack the Smelly Warriors so that the punch drug actually hits. Which, I mean, you know, that's an okay idea as well. I don't know. I just don't think there's quite enough damage here to really affect the hero unless you have more archers than this. But it's not bad. I like the idea behind it. But I don't like the fact that it's skippable. You have one of them that's skippable. There's not really much you can do about that with using that room, though. So, alright, let's go. Let's see here what you have. I definitely don't like Jimbo on this specialization. He's very weak. He doesn't really scare archers all that much. Like, the specialization is 100% negated by knights. And then when you have archers, they have so much crowd control, like Caltrops and Bear Traps and Roll and all that sort of thing, that he might get one hit, maybe 2 hits on him before he's headshotted down. So I don't really like that specialization too much. I think I just did a double pull. Yeah, I did. Alright. I did notice that one time you had your Defendatron guarding your Bone Puppeteer instead of your Zeke. I don't think Zekes have enough hit points to sustain heals, so I would much prefer you to always have your Defendatrons on the Zeke, like this one, like this group is set up here. A lot of Zekes, though. I would argue too many, because Zekes are pretty easy to kill. I would like you to put in maybe a Scorpio or something in with this. I don't mind having the Zekes, but I think you have a few too many of them here. And then you made a choice to have your boss room go on this side instead of the bottom side, which is going to allow me to see the boss room quite far in advance. You know, I'm going to see exactly what this is. Now, what do you have your Scorpios as? Hooks. Okay. Well, since you don't use Scorpios anywhere else, if you decide to only use them in your boss room, I would put them on Pinstripe if you have them with Zeke. Although you do have the split shot, so I think it's fine. Never mind. Never mind what I just said. The boss room itself, I think, is okay. Yeah, I think it's alright. I would just say that you probably use a few too many Zekes, and you should probably add in a little bit more tanky mob groups. in the middle parts of your castle. And I got some loots. Alright, we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have Chahiro123, castle level 24. Jump into it on my archer. I would try, if you can, I know it's a little bit difficult because the movement rates are different, but I would try to get that dampener behind your Scorpio. It makes it a lot harder for knights to kill and quite a bit harder for archers to kill. They have to waste a volley that way. I mean, I'm going to anyway, just because I want to kill it quicker, but that way the dampener will actually like be behind and be tanked for by the Scorpio. I like the placement of your ballista trap. It's making killing these, it's making me take a little bit of extra damage while I'm killing these, so that's good. Alright, continue on. See, again with this one, you can actually change this, I know because I have one in my castle. You can change it so that the dampener comes behind the Scorpio, and that way he doesn't get headshotted down or lashing flames so easily or anything like that, because they have to worry more about getting hooked instead of like worrying about dealing with the dampener. Alright. That hook isn't really going to hit anybody, but it doesn't necessarily need to, just because the way that you have this set up is you can actually rotate this completely around and have it so that these are on the top side instead of that big open room. If you don't know what I mean, the first episode of my castle rebuilding that just released, when this comes out, it'll be like 2 days ago. I talk about it right at the beginning of that video, where I rotate this room around so that these parts are on the top and this long area is on the bottom. And what that will do for you is that basically the places that are on top are going to be pulling through the wall, so it won't matter as much, whereas this part will be on the bottom so you don't have as much vision, and it's just better for the defender. Alright. Other than that, I think it's good. You have like 3 mob groups right in this this room, so that room should be taking you around 1 minute and like 20 seconds or so at your level. Because I have 2 mob groups and it's taking me about 1 minute, so I'm guessing you'll get a little bit more diminishing returns than I do, because most of that time is from the hole being coming around the corner there. I'm doing a good job at dodging these Zeke shots. Took one there. But this is a pretty good mob group, I like it. And you did have a bad dog with it, so when I did drop that volley, that was probably a little bit of a mistake on my part. But that's good. I like anything that supports it. I mean, that's how you're supposed to use Zekes, in my opinion. You got the Defendatron defending it, and then you use some sort of a support with it. That was such a bad miss. Alright. This is gonna be hard to dodge. Made it though. Okay. So far, I don't mind your castle too much though. I haven't seen anything that's really that bad in it. I haven't been paying super close attention to your trap placements. Oh, and I do like that. This doesn't even really, when you're using a hunger bot on the outside, it didn't really scream like pull around the side to me. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that, but I mean, I guess that's good. And at the same time, if I was thinking super clearly and like saying, why is there just a random 4-point minion at the side here, I would think that this is a pull through the wall. As it is now, it did trick me a little bit, but you didn't really punish me for getting pulled. Did I get pulled? I don't even remember. But I think you should have another mob group here, because the Scorpio is going to come around this corner here and pull you, so you want to punish someone for that. So you want to have some sort of an aggro zone here. And I would also prefer you to have this trap maybe standing right around in this area, like so it's touching this corner, because this corner is a huge corner abuse for a pull through the wall like this. You stand here and you can just make it so the Scorpio can't even attack if you're a knight. So you really have to punish them with some sort of a trap to make them take damage while it's happening. Alright, and this is just a small group. Just, you know, a handful of points, so I think that's fine. A little bit of a time waster. Not too big of a deal, though. That's gonna hit. Alright. I like this group just fine. I had something similar in my castle before I changed it. It was working reasonably well for me. Volley is pretty good against it, but at the same time, if you like aggro it and then you get silenced, and you can't drop the volley, it's pretty easy to get into a bad situation. Oh, that's gonna hit. And you had it set up good. Okay, this was really good. Really well set up. And I didn't see it in time, so you hit it well. I wasn't expecting that. So I did like this kill zone quite a bit, but I think you carried it on a little bit farther than you necessarily needed to. You really didn't damage me at all until you got to the Stairmasters. And I'm not really going to live through those Stairmasters, so there's no reason to keep pulling. You know, you could have ended it earlier, and like I'll take a look at it again in a little bit more depth. You think you used a total of two springboard traps? Yeah, 2 of them. Alright, so what you could have done is you could have had this one throw me into like 4 Stairmasters, and you could have just ended it there. I think almost regardless, if I were to get out of this first pull, like this is really set up well. It's right under the skill bar, and I had barely any time to react. The best option for me would have been to roll inwards, but I didn't really have the time to do that, so it was set up well. But if I were to able to get out of this and not get pulled by this, I think regardless, the rest of this is going to be relatively easy to take care of, because it's a pretty open choke. Like, I shouldn't get hooked in again, so I think ending it earlier would probably be better, and then down here you could put something in that's a little bit more tanky, that's harder to kill, and you know, as long as it's killing you with a reasonable margin, I think that's fine, in my opinion. Because you weren't really damaging me through the trap, all the damage is right at the end. So why not just make it earlier, and then you could put, you know, in a Scorpio, Pete Poundmore, something like that down here, that takes a little bit more time to get rid of. Just something you can think about. It's not necessarily, you know, it's not necessary, but it might be a little bit better. Alright, and then Captain Clubbage. I don't think he's really the best boss at the moment, but all that stuff's gonna change eventually. So, pretty good castle. Did kill me, so, I mean, it's a really good castle. I liked the kill zone. It was set up well. That is number 3, so we're gonna end the video here. If you guys enjoy what I do, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of your castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns. You could also comment on my castle or on a video. And if you're lower level, you can create a challenge for me. It takes a little bit longer because you have to add me, and then you have to create a challenge, and then I have to accept. You can also like email me and let me know that you created a challenge or something, so that I know to check my friends list, because my friends list is just getting longer and longer. And it's difficult for me to look through every day for challenges. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, and also if you create a challenge, set it to 1 week, because I can't always get to people within like a day or 2. So if you set it to an hour, then I have like technically 25 hours to get to it, and there's just not possible sometimes. I get backed up. I can't do this every single day. You know, I can't record every single day. So, you know, give me a week to get through it. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.